as we reflect on our Count on Me election that we did with the student council, what is your take on the LDC module? Do you think there's anything, and if you like, I can go ahead and click it up just so we can see what all we did with the LDC module. Did you find any difficulties trying to put anything into the template, being that this was your first real LDC module, and just learning the steps and the procedures? Did you find anything that was a little more difficult for you when trying to implement this module?
Well, I felt like it was very user-friendly, and it laid out everything that you need for, for writing an effective LDC, making sure you're covering, all of your standards, rubric, what the results are going to be, so everything is all planned out, everything's covered.
It's pretty much covered. Okay. So like when you, because you did say it was user friendly, so when we go down and we have to click on like the different tabs, like for this standard and for that standard, that part was pretty much easy for you to just go ahead and put in the, I think they call it the critical focus statement, where we just have to just toggle down here for the standards. You found that was pretty okay, clicking on those and having them readily available for you. Is that what you mean by teacher friendly?
Right, and just being able to use it along with what the district has as far as our pacing guide and the standards laid out weekly. It was easy to use those and match those up.
Okay, I can definitely say that since we've been doing it, when we first got the LDC module, we first tried to adopt this new way of integrating into ELA. I found it a little challenging, but now over the years it's a lot easier, and I totally agree with you. It's a lot friendlier. When we first started with LDC, I think it was about 4 or 5 years ago with the LDC, it was not as organized. The template was not as teacher friendly, user friendly. And I think through us going through going to the training, going to the schools, to the high schools that works, conferences and stuff like that, and they listened to the teachers' comments and concerns, a lot of things were altered and updated for us, which made, so now on your end, you're actually able to benefit from some of the concerns that we saw when we first started with the LDC. My only other, when it comes down to trying to put in the sample work, the kids work and all, what do you think about that? Were you able to easily put that up as well? Like, I think there's one component where it asks for sample work for the kids.
Yeah, that part was a little trickier, because a lot of times there is not a hard copy of student work, and so when it's a digital lesson or they're using a Google Doc, then that takes, I had to kind of work on that a little bit.
Because like right here for the one that we did, the college career ready one, and that was a school-wide module, like here where it says what results, student work samples. There was nothing really yet added to that, so I know we would probably have to go back and add some type of student samples to show, because I think that's the end results that they want to see, the sample work. So we would probably go back here where it says what results and try to add some type of student samples, whether it was a KWL chart, what they know about their college, whether it was why they, I think we did the, what type of major did you want to major in, that's kind of stuff. And then for student council, like why did you vote for that person? Yeah, because remember we did those essays.
Right.
So right here, I would probably, and that essay was not digital, it was pretty much their, a paper copy.
Mhm.
So probably, I think in the future, have them to not only do the paper copy, but put it in Google Docs or something,
Mhm.
and then we can easily upload it to this attachment. So I'll probably say we'll go back to get some of our sample work, or we can make a screenshot or
Screenshot, yeah.
yeah, and then upload it that way as well. So we would definitely need to have some sample work, okay? And then if you look here, teacher reflection. This module was perfect for 5th graders to learn about the election process, the government, as well as build harmony throughout the school. One thing I would change would be to have the candidates run for president and vice president, and the runner-up would be our vice president instead of having 3 candidates to run for president. So that was the reflection, I guess, as far as the process. Would there be another reflection as far as the actual content standards and the mini tasks that you gave the kids?
I thought it worked really well as far as like looking at the history of the founding fathers and leading up to where we are today. And I really think they loved being able to vote
Okay.
and the actual voting process. And it kind of all then came together when they got to cast their vote for president, vice president.
Okay. So the main purpose, we know, and that's great, that we know for the LDC is that when we bring in, we embed and integrate the other contents, like the social studies where you have the founding fathers, the science piece. How did you guys integrate the math portion with this LDC module?
For the math, we looked at the electoral college.
Okay.
And how votes are added up and how they represent populations of each state. And then we took a survey and we used that to apply to different math standards. So
what I would probably do in the future is maybe add the survey to the module, because then they would be able to see the different contents, not just the ELA piece, the literacy piece, but they'll also be able to see the math piece and the social studies piece and perhaps the science piece.
Right.
So we know that this is a work in progress and we can continue to update. But
I like
overall, I think you did an amazing job with this module.
Thank you.
And you think we'll be okay with this? Something that we can implement?
I would definitely do it again next year. And like you said, it's a work in progress, so we can continue to add little things and perfect it. Yeah, definitely.
Great. Because now we're but we've integrated LBAs as well. And I would like to end on this note that LDC is more or less a long-term module that you would do, and the LBA is a short-term module. So what we would do would take a mini task from this module could turn into be a LBA, because it's something that we would do like between 1 to 3 days. But then the LDC, as you can see with the student council election, it took us a good while, like 2 to 3 weeks to do this, because we were also doing it school-wide as well. So my takeaway would be LDC is more long-term and LBA is more short-term.
Okay. Yeah, I really enjoyed this one.
Well, thank you for embracing it.
You're welcome.